Premier Christian Radio.
Where faith comes to life.
Hello, my name is Dr Micha Jazz, and I'm responding to the questions that you've sent in to my program Be Still and Know. Now, one of the questions that, again, a high number of you have written to me about with deep concern from what you say is the challenges of managing our thought life. Now, first of all, let me say this is not a problem unique to you. It's a problem that is for all of us. We all have problems with our thought life. And of course, when I say thought life, we immediately think of the worst and we drift towards issues of sexuality and inappropriate thinking in that area. Well, research has shown that men, for example, think of sex twice as often as women, and in fact, they think of sex as often as they think of food. But we don't, even in an age where we are somewhat overweight, as our politicians and our health officials tell us, we don't seem to get so hung up about the fact we think so much about food as we do that we think so much about sex. And many of us seeking to follow Jesus really do beat ourselves up over the fact of where our minds are located. I think one of the challenges is that we have in our society undermined the beauty of sexuality through media, through advertising, through a whole host of routes. We have cheapened the uniqueness of the human body, and we've objectivized it, if you like, in our consumer culture. I want something, I take it. I mean, how many Hollywood movies do we move from a moment of a romantic look to issues of expressing sexuality in a graphic way? This has done huge damage because what we do is, male and female, we caricature one another rather than seeing the unique glory of God in each other. Now, our minds, therefore, get locked into these thoughts and we punish ourselves because we know that's not how we want to think, nor is it how we are configured. Thinking about this, I remembered and recalled that when I was a kid, out with my parents on a picnic, I used to have this fishing net because we went fishing, but I often used this fishing net to chase after butterflies, horrible child that I was. And I'd get so consumed with trying to chase this butterfly, and anybody who's tried, it's particularly difficult to actually nab yourself a butterfly in a fishing net. But if I did grab that butterfly, two things. Firstly, I was so absorbed in the chase that I was completely unaware of the location and sometimes lost contact with my parents, the picnic, completely. I was lost and away from where I was meant to be. And secondly, if I did catch that butterfly and my grubby little hand went in and pulled it out, I immediately ended the life of that butterfly because the dust would come off the wings. It was unable to fly. It was unable to be what it was created to be. Heartless act from young boy growing up. I want to concentrate on those two elements. You see, when we follow our thought life and it's leading us astray, it is as if we've grabbed a net and we're chasing a butterfly. If we just follow that thought rather than managing that thought, we will end up lost, away from where we're meant to be, outside of that circle of family and friend who can support us. Secondly, if we do grasp hold of the idea, the object in our mind, then the very beauty of it, the entrancing nature of it, will die the moment we grasp hold of it. God knows this. He's said this all along. He's told us to be spiritually minded. He's told us to set our minds on things that are above, the words of Paul in Colossians 3, to think of higher things. So if you're struggling in your thought life, I want to say to you, don't beat yourself up about that. We all do that. But what I do want to say to you is change the thought. Move away from it, which will take hard work. Secondly, not just moving away from the thought, change your context. Get up from your computer. Move away from the situations that's stirring it. Turn off that movie, whatever it might be. And thirdly, Get your mind around something positive, whether it's turning on the radio, listening to Premier, whether it's reading a scripture or a favourite prayer. And finally, make sure that you tell your friends, those that you trust, not the gory details of your thought life, but that you struggle in this area, so you keep it open. As I close on this thought, I want to say one thing to those of you who really do find that you're unable to move away and the thought is almost driving you towards some sort of action that disgusts you or puts you in a situation where you're uncomfortable. Do please seek help and ask for some support, because on rare occasions we need to really address something that can so distort our lives that it damages us, our relationship with God, and our relationships with others. If you have any questions, then please do send them in to me. Email me at micha.jazz@premier.org.uk, and I will seek to make a prayerful and a considered response to whatever it is that's troubling you. Thank you for joining me. Goodbye and God bless.